Okay guys, so right now I'm trying to make a mount for that plow so that I can sit it in the driveway. Yes, it's going to be yard art, but it's also, I have the option of utilizing it as well. So it'll sit in the driveway and look pretty, but when I want to actually plow with it, I can plow with it. But to do that, I'm going to have something that is adjustable to hold it up, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. This is too small to go on the lower link of that plow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out and I'm going to weld this in. It'll be a fixed position. Unfortunately, I would prefer it actually to have this ability to pivot, but I'll just cut this out right here and then I'll sit that in there and then I'll run a few welds. And then I'm going to weld about a 5-inch piece of pipe on here and a little plate that it sits on. And that way we've got some adjustability with this screw to raise and lower that 3-point hitch, or sorry, that plow on using the lower link on one side. So you'll see what I mean in a minute if that doesn't make any sense. Okay guys, so I cut this off. We no longer need that. We're going to weld this right in there. That will allow the lower link to slide through there. And then of course our threads will allow us to have some adjustability. We'll weld this on the end of the pipe. And then of course that will be our base that will sit on a piece of stone out there. I don't want it sitting in the dirt. And that'll give us some adjustability, and anytime I want to use the plow, then it'll be easy to just unhook it. So let's weld her up. Okay, so I've got it in my little Japanese vise, which is a dandy little sucker, and holds my work real well. So now I'll run a bead right along there, along the back, and right through there as well. And we'll be set there, and then we'll just weld that base pipe on and the base itself. So I'm not going to show you all the welding. I'm just going to use my HTP 2400. It's set at a 5.5 on my wire feed rate and a 2 and a 6. So 2-6 on the amperage. So guys, you can see here I'm putting the plow, the Oliver plow, 3242. I'm putting it on the drive. So here's my driveway, and I got a 1550. You can just see the wheels. It's a yard art over there, and it's actually a restorable tractor, but for now it's yard art. And then I thought I'd put this plow here on these stones, and then we'll mulch around it. But I noticed when I put the plow down on these stones, it wants to tip this way and fall over. There's really no support on this side. Normally, you know, I expect these little discs would go into the ground and maybe give it a little support. I don't know. Anyway, so this is kind of what I've cobbled together. And right now I've just got the lower link on my tractor holding this side up, because if I drop that down, this whole plow just goes this direction. So this is what I've cobbled together. Now you can see I've got a little space between the stone and this. So this will go on the lower link, and of course I'll put a pin in there, but it's adjustable. So I just come out here and listen, don't beat me up too much on this. It wasn't meant to be beautiful. It's meant to be functional and not look hideous. So that's really what it does. This was a very, very fast thing. I ran into the shop, grabbed some things that I thought would work, banged it out. It's 20 minutes in the shop, and I put a little paint on there to protect the welds, because those welds, you know anything about welding, welds just rust like crazy if you don't put a little paint on them, particularly out here in the weather. So now we're going to put this on, and I've got to get this lower link kind of out of my way to do that. And so what I'll do is I'll get the adjustment right, and then get it to where it's on the tip like this, and then I'll kind of bang it in with a hammer and pin it, and we should be good to go. And let my wife do the mulching. trying to do this one-handed. So as you can see, I'm screwing it down, extending it basically. Until it hits my base. Once it starts hitting my base, then I'm getting good to go, which is what it's doing right now. It's starting to hit the base. And so now extended it. I'm just kind of giving her a little bit of a tweaking. All right. Now I think, get that out of my way. Yeah, I'll be able to use this to actually snug up against that and prevent that thing from just kind of spinning, although I don't believe that's going to happen. So now I'm going to have to do this off camera. I'll start the tractor, drop this link out of the way, and kind of pop that in there, and then I'll put a pin in it, and I'll let you see the finished product with the tractor pulled away. Okay, now you can get a little bit better idea of the function of this. So you've got all the plows basically sitting on some stones, and it didn't have any support on this side, so pinning that thing in there like that, and then now the old Oliver plow on the drive. So this would be coming into my driveway, and then going out, of course, you'll see the opposite side, this side. So I think it looks kind of cool yard art. And I chose to put it on stones because I did not want the plows in the dirt. And so they are probably, I don't know, they're 6 inches probably off the ground. Those are probably 6-inch stones. And they're pretty hefty, pretty thick. And I'll give you just a little bit of a peek of that. And then my wife will come out here and she'll spray some Roundup, and then she'll mulch around this thing, kind of an oval pattern, and be easy to mow around that way. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video on the 34 or 3242 plow.